Well, hey, Gundam Maniacs, welcome to another episode of Gundam Explained. So a second trailer has dropped for Gundam Requiem for Vengeance, coming out on Netflix. Lots of new details. Let's jump in. Again, we're seeing a lot of the similar stuff from that first trailer reveal, but there's a lot of new stuff spliced in. I love taking a look at stuff like this. So again, 11 months after, it's very interesting to see when exactly the time frame is. We can kind of tell, like looking at some of the armaments that are in play here. But it looks great to see this again with this level of CGI at this ground level. In motion, this looks really good. But yeah, an explosion. You got Zeon stuff. I think something we're going to see often here is I love the framing and movement of the camera system. So they're using Unreal Engine 5. I don't know how much they take into account sort of when making use of the camera system in that virtual space. So they're trying to mimic using a real camera at all. For some of these shots, it looks like they are, and I really like it. And it really is cool just seeing stuff like this for people that love Gundam, love the factions, love kind of being thrust into that world building, because we're seeing, some of the early Zeon stylings of the infantry, the tanks, and there's, an attack occurring. Even though this says the Principality of Zeon launched a war of independence against the Earth Federation, we're seeing that, like Zeon's under attack here. Love this shot, especially aerial type stuff. We've seen this in the previous trailers. And again, that camera movement to kind of help give an understanding of scale of these two giant carrier ships next to each other. All right, seeing some other humans talking. So if I was to have one criticism when it comes to any of these CGI shows, Resident Evil, etc., it's really hard sometimes to get around the human element. I've learned to kind of just get over that, only because it's always going to be hard. The more realistic we try to make something, the more it will stand out that it looks odd. So from what I've seen in this trailer, I'm digging it. Okay, here we're seeing some mobile suits get put out into action. Again, we've seen this, but just again, kind of looking at the detail, it's really cool to reframe seeing the mobile suits we love, like a Zaku 2, in this like updated CGI look, where it's not like an abstraction modernization of the original. It's just really giving it some awesome details that really help it stand out, look like a war machine. Who, again, with the timepiece, curious what this means. Again, little stuff like this I love. Before the Zaku's rolling out, we have its little things keeping it in place. The whole structure it's in. It's fun when we have Gunpla robot spirits and have those chain bases. We're kind of seeing that in action. Oh man, is this shot cool? The camera started from up with it, a mobile suit just dropping and then turning, and then we're seeing these Zaku's being dropped down to Earth. We see some anti-air fire coming up from the ground. Again, the cinematic approach to a shot like this is everything Gundam fan has wanted. I mean, that's a cool shot. That's a cool shot. This is awesome. It is kind of getting that perspective along with the scale and understanding of when the Zeon troops are dropping mobile suits down to Earth having to defend, shoot the anti-air. Parachuting down, classic look. And then we get this quick shot of like the side of Earth Federation fighter. I love the way this looks. Because it's not going crazy. We're seeing kind of the base colors here with the blue, white, the yellow with the emblem there. Where it's, I guess, firing some machine guns. But I also like the camera placement here, because it's doing the thing that I would want this to do, is not have wacky, unthought out camera angles and crazy places. I kind of like it sort of attached to it. It kind of gives this a realistic way about it. It reminds me of that, the Matt Reeves Batman movie. There's a time, when Batman was swinging down or like flying down on his glider, and they shot it where it looked like a camera was attached to him. And I think that kind of helps give it more of a grounded, realistic look. And they're pulling that off here with a core fighter. I'm on board. I love all the shots we're seeing here. This might as well be one of those Discovery Channel documentaries where you're just, watching where they show old war footage. Bunch of quick cuts here, like a hand on the joystick of a mobile suit, perhaps. We see like maybe while the Zaku 2 is parachuting down, it's shooting from its machine gun at Earth Federation core fighters. Something blew up. Oh, and then watching the Zaku's land, seeing the thrusters come out the bottom of the feet, and then looking at the time, you look at the trees, and that's like, oh, that's fall time. So if we're considering, 11 months after The one you wore starting, that makes sense. I love the look of the Zaku's too with the red. You know, that's that special squadron for this. Oh man, this is some meaty, detailed Zaku here. You know, it's very similar to Char colors. I wonder if that's going to be explained in lore, or they're just going to ignore it. It's like, hey, people can use that color. All right, getting a look at what could be one of the main characters. In fact, this is one of the characters maybe talking about the time, talking about revenge. Some more shots being fired from Zaku 2. Blowing up a tank. Oh, this shot is exactly the type of stuff that makes me think they know what they're doing here. We're seeing a Zaku 2 foot while you see a soldier run around. So you kind of get an idea of the scale, and then you just see the shells falling from, you know, the firing it's doing. And I really love this, especially being on Netflix, CGI, newcomers to the franchise. The people that like mechs, or the prospect of a mech feeling weighty and real in media, this is really going to do it. All right, some more awesome shots of Zaku's. Oh, look at that. All right, and you know, from what we're getting here, and I think this is well established already, this is going to be heavy from the Zeon point of view, especially that one soldier we saw, the female soldier. You know, I'm not too sure how deep it's going to be. Is it going to be more personal story, or is it going to be an element of the political nature of the war that this character is thrust into while dealing with their own personal things? Oh, look at that. Oh, wasn't that called a Macaw or something? The Zaku tank looks awesome. All right, so this is where we're going to get the character development. I mean, we already saw a lot of mobile shoots in action. I'm down with some character development. Okay, and then we're zooming in again on another timepiece. This time it's like a grandfather clock, not necessarily the timepiece, the stopwatch, not stopwatch, the pocket watch, yeah. So is there a time element involved? Either time travel or just time kind of used as a concept that the person's living through different facets of this war. And I don't know if they're going to do it where it's going to jump around, ahead, before. Okay, so another timepiece could be that grandfather clock we're looking at, where the arm hits a certain place, turns green, explosion happens. Unsure if it's related or it's just cut like that for the trailer, but the time has some element here. All right, this shot is amazing because it's like nighttime in the middle of, you know, some type of attack that's occurring. But you see one of those Zaku tanks in the top half lifting up to take off because maybe it's about to blow up. Oh, so this is when he gets mad because we see one of the characters here in the foreground, and in the background, something's popping up. I love shots like this. Again, they're being conscious of the camera angles here because they're establishing that this character is seeing something off in the distance that is large. It helps with the scale of the mobile suits. Oh, and look at that. I love this look, especially how contrasty it is because it's at night with the fiery explosion to kind of further hide this Gundam EX in the shadows. It's got the red eyes, really giving off a menacing look. I love this idea. Okay. The animation we're seeing here, there is something about it having that weighty nature where almost you're watching every piece of armor having to animate itself just to move forward because it's a big, heavy machine. And I really feel that sense of scale and weightiness. Either that's me really excited or they really are nailing it with the animation. Just some more cool shots, tanks, characters. Oh, look at that. That Gundam EX looks sick. Okay. Wallpaper right there. Seeing some fighter jets fly by, slight camera movement, a little bit of shakiness, really adds a cinematic effect. And man, the Gundam EX taking out core fighter, not core fighters, but the Zeon fighters. Yeah, the dot fighters, so you can kind of see, that is another awesome thing we're seeing here because that dot fighter design, you know, from the late 70s really has a 70-ish vibe to it. It's really hard to, you know what, they've done a good job with the later, I think, Stardust Memory with MS Team Thunderbolt kind of modernizing that dot fighter, and it looks, the lighting on this makes it look great. Also, just seeing how fighter jets attacking a mech. You know, that's something from Gundam that I love to see. It doesn't happen too much, but I love this approach to it. All right, and we've got some more characters introducing themselves, so that's good that, you know, as much as we're getting this awesome mobile suit action, they're doing the character thing. All right, another character here, yet another one, and some more. So yeah, we're probably going to be introduced to characters that are going to be working together, similar to like an 08 MS team, but from the Zeon point of view. You know, a little different from MS Igloo, even though MS Igloo had the Zeon point of view, it was CGI. Yeah, this has more of that feeling, the 08 MS team feeling, especially because of the ground combat going on. Okay. Was not expecting this when I saw it. I cannot wait to see what other mobile suits are going to get the like RFV treatment. If you saw those latest high grades, it does the Requiem for Vengeance. It kind of denotes that at the end, sort of like Thunderbolt with TB. Because, you know, while animation is supposed to be all the same consistent canon, there can be some differences here and there. Like a story from the 1 Year War could be told within the lens of Requiem for Vengeance. But it's still in the same world. So it's awesome to get a design of this. Obviously, you know, Gunpla win. Now this shot. Someone was thinking this. They're like, yeah, we're going to have a CGI engine to make some sick shots. We've got to have a Gundam walking through a forest on fire with the moon behind it. I mean, that's it. All right, there we go. A lot of cool stuff in there. Is there anything I missed that you want to let me know about in the comments below? Anyway, there you have it. Let me know if I missed anything. I'd like to do a follow-up if there's some more stuff we can dissect. The time element seems to be interesting. Maybe she is holding that pocket watch and it's in sync with this grandfather clock that's supposed to blow up something. Maybe like a Cuckoo's Doan's Island to where she's pretending to be Zeon, but in the end is flipping. I don't know. I'm really curious to see what happens. I'm just making up a bunch of stuff now. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. We'll talk later.